Hey guys, coming at you with a quick stretch for today. So we're just going to start standing, feet hip distance apart. Head, shoulders, ribs, hips are all stacked on top of the ankles. We're going to start with some roll downs. So you'll just give me an inhale. As you exhale, you're slowly peeling down one vertebra at a time, letting the head relax, letting those arms relax. When you get down to the bottom, you're going to take a nice bend into your knees. Inhale. Exhale, lengthen, drop the tailbone down, pull the belly button toward the spine, and slowly peel all the way back up. You're going to take that 2 more times. Inhale at the top, slowly peel it down, really let the arms relax. Let the head hang heavy. When you start to feel those hamstrings bend into the knees, nice big inhale in. Exhale, start to lengthen belly button toward the spine, draw the tailbone down and peel it back up. The head's the last thing to come up. 1 more, inhale. Exhale, peel it down. This time, go ahead and stay down there. You're going to take an inhale, bend into the knees, try to relax the chest onto the thighs. Exhale, try to maintain that connection as you lengthen the legs. Inhale, bend the knees, relax the chest onto the thighs. See if you can keep the chest onto the thighs a little longer as you exhale, lengthen the legs. And 1 more time, inhale, bend, relax the chest onto the thighs. Exhale, press into the heels, send the sits bones towards the ceiling. From there, we're going to take a little bend into the knees, hold on to opposite elbows, really let the torso hang. Now from here, you're just taking gentle sways back and forth with the torso, really letting the spine and the lower back decompress, gently rocking from side to side, back of the neck is long. You'll bring that back to the center, place the hands down and slowly peel all the way back up. From here, you're going to inhale. Exhale, you'll curl down 1 vertebra at a time. When you start to feel those hamstrings, bend into the knees. And now we're going to walk out to a plank position. From there, you're just stepping the right foot forward in between the hands, lowering that left knee down and relaxing the pelvis towards the floor. If this feels like enough stretch, you can stay exactly where you are. Breathing here, letting the front of the left thigh relax, feeling a little stretch into the right inner thigh and hamstring. If you decide you want more intensity, you can walk those hands up onto the right thigh. If that feels like too much on the left knee or through the front of the left hip, or if you're feeling pinching in the lower back, you're going to walk those hands back down where they started. You're breathing here. Core is still tight. Taking about 5 breaths. Hands will come back down. You're going to rotate towards the front leg and lift that arm up, just giving a little twist. You'll feel a little extra stretch through that left psoas. From there, you square off. Place the right hand inside the right leg. Tuck the back toes. If you want more intensity, lift that knee up. Now, if you still want a little more, you're going to take a gentle rock. 1 inch forward, 1 inch back, 1 inch forward, 1 inch back. So that right hand is inside the right thigh so that it can keep that knee tracking with the thigh bone so that we're making sure that both legs stay nice and lined up. We're going to take 10 little rocks back and forth. If that doesn't feel good, you can stay with the knee down. Once you've taken those 10 little rocks, you're going to place that hand back on the outside of the foot, step back to your plank position. Inhale. Exhale, step the left foot forward, relax the right knee down. And start by just relaxing the pelvis towards the floor. Keeping the collarbone wide, making sure you're breathing. The 2 sides might feel a little bit different. Taking about 5 nice big deep breaths. And then if you want that added intensity, you could always gently walk those hands up onto the thigh. If that sounds like a no thank you, you can stay low. So you can see on this side I've stayed down. From there, we're going to rotate open towards that front leg, lifting that arm up. Nice deep breaths. Feeling the collarbone wide. Taking about 5 breaths there. Then you'll bring that down. Tuck those back toes. Left hand comes inside the left leg. And you could stay there, or you can take that little rock 1 inch forward, 1 inch back. Making sure you're breathing, using that left arm to help keep that left knee tracking in line with the thigh bone. Core is still active here, so the belly button's always pulling toward the spine to help to support. Once you've taken your 10, You're gonna bring that hand back. And now from here, we're coming to a seated position. So you can just kind of cross those legs and make your way to your sits bones. We're gonna get into those outer glutes a little bit. So you're gonna start with your left shin in front of the right. Head, shoulders, ribs, and hips are stacked. If this feels like enough of a stretch, you can stay here. Otherwise, you lengthen up and start to hinge forward. You have a long line from the crown of the head to the tailbone. You're breathing here. The rib cage is closing, belly button's toward the spine. As you breathe, you might notice that those start to loosen up and you can start to inch down a little bit farther. You only want to go as far forward as you can while maintaining that nice long spine. So if you get to a point where you feel like you want to round, you want to stop there. Keep the nice straight line from the crown of the head down through the tailbone. You'll have about 5 slow, deep breaths, and then you'll come back up to seated. You're just going to swap out those legs, right shin in front of the left. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, start to hinge forward. So again, thinking about that long line like you have a string from the crown of your head to your tailbone and it's reaching in opposite directions. Keeping that long line and the rib cage closed, you can hinge forward to get a deeper stretch. Only hinge as far as you can without rounding. Hands can come to the outside. They can come out in front of you. You can gently bring those elbows down as long as you maintain that nice flat back. 5 slow, deep breaths. And then you'll gently make your way up to seated. From there, you're just gonna bend the knees. You can have the hands behind the thighs, slowly roll down onto the back. From here, just getting into the hamstrings quickly, you'll extend that right leg up towards the ceiling. You can hold behind that right thigh. And same thing here, we want the head, shoulders, ribs, and hips all in a line, so the tailbone is staying heavy. If you have a little bit more flexibility, you could hold behind the calf of that right leg. If you're feeling particularly tight, you could wrap a strap or a towel around your foot. Now you're gonna inhale, bend the knee. Exhale, stretch. Inhale, bend the knee. So similar to what we did in that forward fold. Exhale, stretch. Every time that knee bends, we try to get the thigh a little closer to the chest. And as it stretches, we try to maintain that position. Trying to keep the neck and shoulders relaxed, and you're just gonna take 5 of those there. You're breathing. And now from there, you're gonna gently rotate that leg in, and we're gonna pull that leg across towards the left shoulder. So if you have long arms or a lot of flexibility, you could hold on to that right big toe. If that sounds like a strong no thank you and that IT band is feeling really tight, you can hold on to the outside of the shin, right? Either one is fine. You wanna be feeling this all along the outside of that right leg. So the right foot is coming across to the left shoulder, kind of like you're making an X across your body with that leg. The right sits bone is still reaching long towards the foot of the mat. And you're gonna take 5 nice, slow, deep breaths there, then the leg can come back to the center, bend the knee, place the foot flat, and from there you switch sides. The left foot up to the ceiling. You can always start with the hands behind the thigh, make sure the tailbone is staying heavy, pelvis stays even. If you feel like you want a little more intensity, you can walk those hands up to the calf as long as that tailbone stays onto the mat. Then you'll start with that inhale, bend. Exhale, stretch. Inhale, bend. Exhale, reach all the way from the sits bone out through the heel of that left foot. Inhale, bend. And exhale, lengthen. Neck is staying relaxed. You can use those hands to help pull that leg a little bit closer. And again, if you're feeling particularly tight, you could wrap a towel, a band, or a strap around your foot. Taking 5 there. Now maintaining that left sits bone reaching towards the front of the room, we slightly rotate that leg in, pull that left foot across to the right shoulder. You can hold on to the outside of the calf, or you can reach to that big toe. And you're breathing. This stretch doesn't generally feel particularly wonderful, but we get really tightened through here, and it's nice to open up through the side of the leg like that. If that outside strip of the hamstring is tight, this will feel pretty intense. Sometimes you feel it all the way down into the calf as well, so don't let any of that alarm you. If you're feeling a pretty intense stretch, you could always take a little tiny bend into the knee. And once you've taken your 5 nice big deep breaths there, you'll bring that leg back to the center, bend the knee. And now both knees come into the chest. You're just gonna take little circles around with those knees, give your lower back a little massage. And then you'll reverse the direction of those circles, keeping the neck relaxed. And then to make your way to seated, you're just gonna take a little rock and roll, get a little spine massage, belly button toward the spine, little tiny rocks back and forth until you've made your way up to seated. And that is your quick stretch for today. Please let me know if you guys have any questions. I hope you have a great day. Bye.